questions when you guys are ready.
And Shauna, the response from your team falling down 12 on the road, what would you see that allowed that to happen and to grow into that win?
Yeah, I mean, everything I've been talking to him about, toughness, grit, like locking down defensively, just worrying about the moment and the play, kind of all came into play there. Because they did, Florida State, give them credit, they came out and they punched us early, which you could kind of expect after them, coming off 2 losses. And then I also thought our bench did a great job. I subbed some people in, and I thought Maddie was huge in sparking us, kind of what I've envisioned her being able to do. She hit those threes right away. Her defense was great. Just total team effort. So really, finally, to see kind of that, that grit to us was what I liked most.
What'd that tell you about your team to do what you've been talking about and to have that?
It was good. It finally, I was like, man, we got something here, and I've seen it in glimpses, but to see them come out and really put it together for, probably about 35 minutes, maybe 34. We just started that first 5, really, really rough, but and just across the board, I thought everyone that came in did their job and did it at a high level. We had great production off the bench. We had 26 points off the bench. Letty was elite. It's what I've been, dreaming about and envisioning is how she can protect the rim and team defense, and she did that. So it was really great to see kind of some of it starting to come together.
With the game Letty had, how Leah's coming along too, are roles getting more defined, more clear now, or is it maybe actually change things up?
No, I mean, I think everything's just getting more. It's kind of what we envisioned some of them to be, but now they're kind of getting that confidence and getting their feet under them. With Letty, we knew it was going to be a process, and she just hasn't played in a couple of years. Same thing with Aaliyah. She was out about a month. So I think they're both every day literally getting more confident and comfortable. And you can see that in games. I mean, I think Aaliyah's been great. Letty was great the other night. Obviously Maddie was great off the bench. Just everyone is kind of embracing, again, doing what they need to do to help this team be the best version of ourselves.
Letty as a defensive the blocks were there, but she alters a lot too.
Yes.
What's that do for you when you have somebody who can minimally alter and at best block?
Is what I've been talking about, right? Like all summer, I'm like, we finally could have some rim protection, and she's so long, and she can move, and she can, like I said, doesn't even have to block them. But at Florida State, you could literally see them changing their shots because of her, and then you get a couple blocks. Now that's in their head, right? So, but she was starting to understand how to move and show up and be that anchor. So it's just, she'll get better, and there'll be some probably, good moments, some not so good moments, but we're starting to get it. And then it was good to see, like kind of watching Letty, and then she comes in, she got in foul trouble. She came back, and now she was doing a really good job of showing up and being that presence and being that wall. So, I think they're kind of all feeding off each other with it.
Did you get a sense that she needed to see results? We hear trust the process all the time, but she needed to see that what she's working for is actually working.
Yeah, I think everyone needs that, right? Like it is. You can always say that, trust it, but you gotta, it gives you confidence when you have some success out there. So I think this hopefully will really springboard her into, being that confident version of herself and having a little taste of it. So, she was scoring, she was rebounding, she was defending. She played almost 25 minutes. That's a lot. So I think all great things, and I think, hopefully this will just motivate her to dive in and push even harder.
Gretch talked about taking what the defense gives her and led to better efficiency night for her. What did you see in her kind of doing that and just picking her spots like that?
What I loved is just she was in attack mode. It was something that we really, we always talk about being in attack mode. We're a team that wants to put pressure on the rim. We want to get to the rim, draw fouls, and I thought she did that. She didn't settle for all jump shots. She attacked, she got to the rim, she finished strong at the rim, she didn't shy away, she didn't fade away, so she's able to get some and ones. You get some easy baskets and you get some layups like that gets you confident. And she only hit 1 3 the other night. Like we don't, and she scored 25 points. So we'll get her open threes, but she's so good with attacking the rim and getting there and finishing. That's the number one thing you got to do, because then everything else from there will be a lot easier.
Two-parter on Western Kentucky. How did you get set up, any connections, and keys that stand out to you about them?
Yeah, this is just they needed a game, we needed a game. They've been historically a good program, and always been top of their league. You know, they lost some players, graduated some players this year, but so we took it. And keys are really, this is, you know, they're going to do some different things. They're going to play zone and really high and wide and press some and try to force us into playing and doing some, you know, they want us to play faster than what we want to play. So we really just need to take care of the ball, be really, really disciplined offensively, and attack north-south. You don't want to get passing back and forth because they are so long and athletic up front, where they can create some turnovers.
To give you and Jazz and Maddie have the scoring output. I know scoring's not everything, but to have the scoring output they did.
Yes.
What's that give you guys?
It changes everything for us. It takes pressure off of Barry, Gretchen, Jazz scoring. If she can score 8, 10, 12, that's huge for us. She was so aggressive, but she had been more aggressive in practice. She had probably her 2 best practices leading into that game. You know, we know what Maddie can do and how she can score, but I think Maddie's starting to figure out now. She's figuring out our defense. She has been great. The last 2 games defensively, she's been great. And she's settled in. You know, my thing with Maddie coming in this game is just, again, take what they give you. You know, you don't have to force anything right away. We don't need, so those first couple threes were inside out off of penetration, paint, touch, kickouts. Those are layups for Maddie, those inside out threes, and she hit those. So, and then with her too, I was all about attack. And I thought she was great.
When you go through 2 games like Gretchen had, I mean, you were a scorer at Canisius, if you're even an elite talent like that, how hard is it to not get in your own head and kind of ask what's wrong with me?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I don't say anything to them about, because I know how I was, and I know the worst thing to do when you're in those things is to think about it and to overthink it. I think she did the right thing. I thought she got back in the gym. You know, we got back 4 a.m. at Oregon State, and she was in the gym that next night, you know, here on her own. And then that next morning she was in the gym, and she's been in the gym. And you know, we just, like I said, I've never questioned. I could just tell her to keep shooting. So I think kind of less is more of talking about it with offensive-minded players and scoring. She did do some stuff, you know, to get, you know, worked with our sports psychologist, talked to her for a little bit, which I think is great. We showed her some positive clips of her making shots. I just think all positive stuff you got to think, and don't overthink it.
Mentioned a few times, like, this is the vision, this is what we envision. What's that like as a coach when you start to see more than glimpses of the vision, you see more sustained ideas coming to life?
Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? To kind of see the stuff that, like, oh man, we've been talking about this for months, and now to see a simple show up and, you know, and a rotation defensively or a play offensively, or to see them kind of starting to figure out how to keep people in front. That's why you just got to stay patient in it. We're going to have many more moments, and they're not going to do it. And that's fine. That's part of a journey of a basketball season. It's up and downs of games, of seasons. But I also think that when they see that, that's where that confidence breeds, and they're like, oh, and then they see the success from it. Okay, this is what we've been talking about. We did it. This is the result. And that fuels, you know, the motivation to do more and hopefully even to be better. And you know, you want to keep that feeling. You want to win.
I know the league has evolved so much even when since you've been here, but can Letty have a bigger impact maybe in Big Ten play because teams play through the post a little bit more? I
think so. I think it'll be better matchups, to be honest. You know, even Florida State, their posts were pretty agile, and you know, and not, I'm trying to think just off the top of my head, not a ton of the fives can pick and pop really, and you know, some do. But she even handled that the other night with the one when she was on her. So, you know, a lot of these non-conference games, though, I think are just preparing all of us. But that's the thing, Letty she's mobile enough at 6'7", and she'll continue to get in better condition to be able to go from a show out to a contest of a 3. But I think it'll be better matchups in the Big Ten for sure.
How have you seen her mobility grow just in these 5 games?
I think the first couple of games, I thought she moved really well, even our scrimmage. And then I thought she, you know, wasn't as good, and then I thought last game she was really good. So again, it's like her kind of figuring it out too, and getting confident in her legs and you know, her endurance. But she can, and I think as more games come and she gets in better game shape, she's going to show even more of her mobility. But I've seen it. You know, I've seen it pre-injury. I saw it when we recruited her. Saw it here when she first got here. So she can move.